So here we are at the beginning of another Mercury retrograde, this time in Virgo. I'm going to take you through some of the finer points of a Mercury retrograde and relate it back to the sign of Virgo, which is the sign that we need to operate within. So we're going to go over some of the principles, some of the main problems we might face in a Mercury retrograde situation for the 22 days of retrograde, for the 3 weeks of shadow after that, for the stationary direct weeks, for the stationary retrograde week that we're in right now. So let's get into it. So here we are. Mercury is stationary retrograde, meaning it's about to go backwards through the sign of Virgo towards the sun, which is about to be moving towards Mercury itself. When they meet, that will be called the inferior conjunction. Now, we're not there yet. And for the past few days before this happened, and the few days now as we head into retrograde, is called stationary retrograde. All forward momentum stops. We head into a review process. Okay? Now that review process itself is important. What we have to do now is continue to work on what we've already been engaged in as Mercury moves backwards, right? It's work we've already done, or it's stuff we've already started. This pause, and then this backward flow, this inward flow, is really taking us back over our steps so we could see something we were missing, so that we could tie up loose ends, so that we can, say goodbye to old and toxic habits and then reestablish good ones within the framework of the retrograde in Virgo. In Virgo, we must practically analyze our habits. Not only our habits, but our routines in relation to work, in relation to our health, these rituals that we're engaged in on a day-to-day basis. There is no sense to fight this stuff. It doesn't make any sense to go against the flow of what's happening, right? This is the energy that's present for us right now. This is the time that we're in. If we try to push forward against Mercury retrograde, then we're fighting a losing battle. If we start to flow with it, we can take advantage of and harness the situation to our advantage. So that's what I mean, right? We're taking Mercury and we're going to use it to our advantage. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose of me making this video. As I animate the chart, we're going to go a day in advance. So we're stationary up until the 24th, and then we go direct. Then we go retrograde. Okay. It's called stationary retrograde, as mentioned earlier. Now, you'll have noticed that it's about to go retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and that's about to last for about 3 weeks. As you see, by September 14th, it is stationary direct. And then by September 16th, we are back to full direct motion. So Mercury, being over here and in the sign of Virgo, brings up issues at work, issues surrounding work, issues surrounding the day-to-day jobs and tasks that we're engaged in, the little detail-oriented stuff that are helping us to reach our vision. That's really the point of the work that we're doing. Work should be defined as any activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or a result. So the issues at work around the results you're trying to get is that the results need to be in line with your vision, which is the opposite sign, Pisces. Pisces is really the sign that encompasses our purpose and our vision. And a lot of times what we get, when we're dealing with the sign Virgo is a lot of people who discuss that you need to be of service. You have to have a duty to others and all of this stuff. Now, it's true that Virgo itself tends to be of service to other people, to perform duties, to be very dutiful, meaning getting their work done, doing their homework, doing their schoolwork, things like that, being a hard worker at work, right? It's all the base things you always hear about Virgo. They're very organized, analytical, right? And analysis is a very good tool of Virgo, discrimination as well. But what we need to do here is understand this dynamic a bit more in order to take full advantage of retrograde, because we're just not going to get anywhere with the textbook definitions of these things. And so disagreements and miscommunications can come up at work. These issues at work are because the work that you're doing is not on your own vision. The issues at work are because the work you're doing is not building your vision. That's so important. Either that or the work that you did do was on a vision that wasn't yours, meaning you performed a duty or a service to somebody or something, some organization rather, that you value, but that doesn't share your values or your vision. This is a little confusing to Virgo because a lot of times what you're doing is you're working on other people's visions in ways that help them achieve better results quicker. That's why Virgo is so good at analysis, right? It analyzes and sees better ways of doing things. And then it goes to the company's boss or the supervisor and says, we should do it this way. This is a better way. And then what happens is the supervisor or the boss or whoever then goes, okay, actually, you're right. This would save us a lot of time and energy and efficiency. Wow, you really did see a better way here. And then they implement that way and it saves people time, it saves people energy, things flow more efficiently. So what we really need to start to do is to begin to understand that when you apply that skill set to a company, an organization, especially people in your life, partners, friends, coworkers, who do not share where you want to end up, the vision that you have for your life. And this is why Virgo can be so linked with fantasy, right? Because, Pisces is where we usually find escapism and fantasy, Neptune being one of the co-rulers there. But the fantasy that Virgo engages in, often isn't understood by the partner. Like the fantasy is really trying to get Virgo to understand that they're wanting something larger than the day-to-day detailed work that they're engaged in. And that the way to get that is not to forego the detailed work and run away into their bedroom and hang out and watch Netflix or, go into their imagination for 27 years, or to ditch their friends, or to ditch the people in their lives while they try to sort their stuff out. This is very common among Virgos, right? The getting away from people, the clearing of the waters, which isn't totally a bad thing. And so you may feel yourself at times trying to isolate first because you're trying to get back in touch with the framework of what you want. The problem is that also has to be communicated to the other people in your life. And it also has to be understood that if you're going to be of service and be of aid to the people, which is how you actually build the thing that you want. So by being of service, you're actually building the thing that you want. The other people in your life have this sort of same shared idea about where they want to go, and that's where you want to end up too. So you want to open up a donut shop, and this guy over here wants to open up a donut shop. So you pour him a cup of coffee and you organize his desk and you give him a back rub and you give him a couple of ideas based on the paperwork you've looked over. And then all of a sudden, this guy begins to get his donut shop and you are with him. So you both manifest a donut shop together. Now, how you manifested it was that he wouldn't have done it without your service and dedication and duty. So in that way, it expedited a process. It made his life easier and your life easier because you linked up. And this is why you're so good at providing a service. The issue is that if you don't want a donut shop, but that's what he's working on, that's all what his actions are adding up to. But you've mistakenly made this person the center of your universe. Then we have a problem because you're now disconnected from your vision. This is why a lot of times Virgos have a problem with ending up realizing that the people that they're supporting, the people that they're in love with, the people that they're in partnership with, the people that they are giving a lot of their time and energy and focus to, don't actually have the same desires as them. They don't actually want to build the same stuff that the Virgo person thinks is being built by the service that they're providing. So the need to re-examine your habits is because Virgo rules rituals, and these rituals lead to the accomplishment of your goals and the manifestation of your vision. So when you see a better way of doing things, you should make the choice to stop the vices. So that's as we head towards the inferior conjunction and you've slowed down, what you're looking at is you're being shown a better way of operation. We're going to go days into the future, and you're going to watch as Mercury begins to make its way towards the sun and the sun make its way towards Mercury. And during this time, not much is occurring because you're getting information, you're taking this time to analyze your steps, analyze your behaviors, analyze your habits especially, analyze your health patterns, analyze the work that you've been doing, and is it leading you to where you want to go? And chances are we can all optimize and make improvements to our routine, to our habits. And this is a great time to do that. So we have to adopt the virtues, which means the actions that get us the values, which are the things we would act to gain and keep, right? We have to adopt the virtues as soon as Mercury goes direct again, which we saw will be around the 14th. So this brings you less wasteful in a more optimized workflow, right? Like you're not wasting energy anymore because you've optimized your habits by analyzing them, both in relation to your work and your health and the relationships that you have and the people that you're trying to support, because that's where the Virgo energy is. So this is what tends to become a problem. Your goals can be reached, Virgo, in less time. And if you're not a Virgo, and we're just in this sort of like me, I don't have any Virgo planets in my chart, but I have Virgo in my chart. It just happens to be in the area of work myself. So also what's happening is I have to re-examine my habits in relation to the day-to-day work that I put in to see if it's bringing me where I want to go. So the disagreements with the people in your life at this time, the disagreements while Mercury is in Virgo, are actually a sign of the lack of synergy between you and the other people. This means that your vision, your goals, and theirs are not in alignment. There's a wall here. They want to go all the way over here, and you're trying to go over here by supporting them here. It does not work. So the caring of the people who you actually really value, Virgo, this is an important part. You actually value people because you know that by supporting the people in line with the things you want as the thing that most optimally brings you the thing that you want. It brings healing into your life and theirs through the actions that you take. Now, obviously, when you support a person who actually shares the same goals as you, who wants to reach the same goals and actualize the same vision, then it's a win-win. If not, if you're supporting them and it's not working out, then we're headed for a loss. You're headed for a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted energy. The constant Virgo mistake that I see people make, it's such a huge mistake, is when they mistake a partner or a coworker or a friend as the vision itself. They think that the person that they're serving, that they're doing all the detailed day-to-day work with, is this ultimate value. Now, the partner can be an ultimate value because partnership can be the vision, depending on what your chart looks like. You know, if you're in Aries, you may really like harmony with other people, but partnership really isn't the vision. It's actualizing your own ideas and your own impulses and following those. If you're a Taurus, it's going to be much more about building a life on your own values and allowing partnership to be a supportive force. If you're a Scorpio or a Libra, you're going to have much more of a need for a soulmate level relationship, a deep connection to a partner, to friends on a soulmate level. And so then it becomes much more of a focal point of your vision. But even still, your vision can be much more in depth than just partnership. Partnership may be just a focal point along the way. We don't know unless we see the whole chart. We have to remember that the supporting of the partner is the best pathway forward to the vision. That the planning with all the analysis and all the detailed work that we do for the organization, the friend, the coworker, the partner, the cherished family member, is all leading us to our desired finish line. This person is very valuable because they're helping you manifest this same thing. This is so far beyond the self-sacrificing service that you sort of read about, where Virgo gives up its vision to support this vision. And this is why Virgos can get so confused. They have this big fantasy, which isn't based in reality, because all the work that they're doing in the day-to-day is based on what they see in front of them, which is usually the people that they're supporting and the jobs that they're doing, which they, feel a duty to accomplish. It's very important for them to do these things. Healing is on the line. Purification is on the line. Health and well-being is on the line. The very visions themselves rest upon Virgo's shoulders in a lot of ways. Without Virgo's focused attention, things tend not to get done. People tend to wait around waiting for Virgo to step in. The problem is that when Virgo steps in for the wrong people, and this happens quite a bit. When you support the right people, Virgo, when we get in league with the right people in our lives, with the people who can help us manifest the things that we also want, we're in a good space. So we're going to keep this focal point in mind. We're going to keep this dynamic in mind. We're not sacrificing ourselves to provide a service. We're providing a service as payment for the accomplishment of the values. The work that we're doing is helping all of us win. It's just Virgo's on an interpersonal side of the astrological wheel. And it doesn't negate the personal aspect of the chart itself. As we reach this inferior conjunction, where Mercury and the Sun come together, the Sun enlightens us. It gives us a flash of insight, further illumination into all the things that we've been realizing about the course that we have to follow in the future when we move forward with new habits, with more optimized routines, with better rituals, and with a clear idea about what supporting the people in our lives means to us and what it's accomplishing for us, and where we've served others to our own detriment and where we haven't served the right people who could have helped us get what we want. And by serve, I just mean do the work that Virgo does, which is the day-to-day detail-oriented focus work, the very little things. Sometimes it's pouring a cup of coffee. Sometimes it's going over line by line a huge report that means the world for funding for your business, and making sure that everybody has things in order and correctly, that everything flows and is being said in the right way to optimize and to enhance the chance of getting those funds. as we work through this period, we have to realize that action is going to come about very soon. So we don't need to stress out about the fact that we haven't been able to take action yet. Right now we're stationary direct September 14th, September 15th, and then we're direct by the 16th. And then it's time to really move out into the world and begin to operate this new plan. That stationary direct phase is about a week as well, just like this stationary retrograde phase where it's been slowing us down and turning us inward has been about a week. This stationary direct phase is going to take all the stuff that I just talked about, all the things that we're focused on, all the work that we've been doing for the last 3 weeks, and helping us push forward with it now, but not into a dead sprint, but we're going to go bit by bit. So all the inward analysis, all the decisions are now translated into action by the 16th, which for Virgo, right, the action is typically about work and healing. And so the focus for us was about the work that we do on a day-to-day basis, the habits in line with our goals, and the healing that comes about as a result of the engagement in that process, the well-being by focusing on our physical bodies as well, and the routines involving that. There's a shadow period for a few weeks until Mercury gets back to where it was at the time that it went retrograde. So obviously by the end of September, we're going to be reaching the end of the shadow period. So over the course of the weeks, it's like we're going to walk with our new routine. We're going to start jogging with it. And then once we get out of the shadow and over into Libra, we're going to be, hitting a nice steady nice steady run. We're going to be off to the races to that superior conjunction. Now on October 19th, Mercury is going to conjunct the sun. It's going to have caught up to it. And that's going to be the superior conjunction, which should give us about 47 days until the next stationary retrograde. And that's the time when we can really cash in on all the work we do from now through October 19th. From the end of the retrograde process, or rather from the inferior conjunction point of the retrograde process, which happens around the 6th of September, and then moving out into direct motion, and then working this entire process towards our own personal vision, represented by Virgo's connection with Pisces, and the work that it does in relation to those principles, or in the work that Virgo does in relation to its own personal vision, which just happens to be on a different level. And then once we get here on October 19th, we reach the superior conjunction. So then by December 12th of 2023, going towards the end of the year, Mercury then goes again stationary retrograde in Capricorn, and then we begin moving backwards at that point, and we will deal with that when we get there. So this gives us a really good look, a really good window, an opportunity to see exactly the work that we need to do during Virgo. Stay focused on your vision. Line up with the people who share it. Use the Virgo service if you have Virgo in your chart to help them. If you're not a Virgo, figure out what role the service you're providing to other people through the work that you're doing is serving in accomplishing your own personal idea of success and your own personal goals in life. And if it's not in line, then be wary about the work that you're doing, which is the price that you're paying for the vision that you're manifesting. And if you're doing work that's not manifesting the vision, we are in a world of hurt because you're not accomplishing your purpose. And we need to get you to accomplish what you came here to. We need to manifest all that you came here to become. We're not going into a self-sacrificial mode in Virgo time. We're actually using Virgo's energy to connect with others who can help us reach our goals quicker through the interpersonal connection by the work that we do that helps to serve them. They can help pave the way, get us to that goal sooner. So pay attention to all these different stages: the stationary direct, the inferior conjunction, the shadow period, right after stationary direct, and also pay attention to the superior conjunction, which is coming up in October. And then take that time between then and the next stationary retrograde period to harvest the rewards of all that hard labor and work that we talked about, the coaching that you followed from this video, and then reap the rewards from that during that period, and then get ready to begin the process over again. All right. I'll be talking to you soon. We'll be going over more Virgo stuff if you're interested. We'll be going over more Pisces stuff. We'll be talking more about how you can manifest your vision. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you soon.